sometimes it's a little...
So easily.
There you go. So yeah, sometimes you gotta click this, what you're pushing down is this plastic here. So sometimes you gotta kind of finagle it a little bit right here. There's that little slot too. So push down here, slide it, and then kind of push this out all the way. And then you would take the new one and slide it right on. So it would just go like that. And slide right in. And it's locked. And then once you're done, same thing on the other side. Once you're done, just hit that wiper service code again, and it's all done. And then the cabin air filter is a little more tricky. If you guys want to come around this side, it'll probably be a little easier. So first thing I like to do is slide this seat all the way back to give yourself room. So just push it all the way back. And then you don't have to, but I like to take out this carpet just to also give myself some more room. Let's take this carpet out. And it's going to be almost impossible for you guys to see this, but here, I'll roll down this window. Almost impossible for you guys to see it, but underneath here there's there's 4 clips, and they come out in 2 stages. It's literally just like a push pin. So I get like a pick, or you can get a flathead screwdriver, anything that will wedge it. And I'm gonna pry one off and show you. But it's, if you can see that right here, that circular thing, you gotta take turns coming in. But you just pull that down and then pry the inside of it off. So you can even pull them out with your fingers almost. So they look like this.
Okay.
This is in the glove box, and then this goes in to secure it. So this one comes out like that, and then you can pry underneath and pull that rest of it out.
And the 2 of them?
And there's 4 of them.
4 of them, okay.
Yeah, so all 4 of those come out. And you're gonna want like a flashlight, you know, it's really hard to see down here.
So it's a Y and 3 is the same filter?
Basically the same, yeah.
Okay.
It's the same process for all.
So you buy the same filter, or you have to specify 3 or Y?
I believe you have to specify.
Okay.
Because there's just slightly different sizes to them. But so I'm getting all 4 of those clips out. Once all 4 of those clips are out, sometimes they separate from each other like that. They'll just piece right back together. You just stick it into each other.
That's the filter?
No, these are the clips.
Yeah.
So the filter is under this glove box panel. It's gonna have to be pried off as well. It's really hard to see, but I know. But I just wedge one side. So where you can kind of pull that off. You can see that plate. It's gonna pop off. Anything on the other side. But be careful doing this, because there's 2 connections to this. There's a speaker and a light. So when you pull this off, it's hanging by wires. See that?
Okay.
So you can disconnect these or leave them connected. I like to leave them connected just to save time. But if you do want to disconnect them to be safe, that's fine too. You just push down on the tab on this light and pull it right out. And then this one is gonna be a little harder, but it also pulls right out. You just kind of put your nail under there and kind of have to yank it. But be super careful doing that. You can also stick a pick in there and pull it out, but just be very careful. It's a very delicate connection. See that come out? So this is the piece I removed. It's a little cover, and there's the 2 tabs where those 4 little circular things I took out from. And so now we have to take this carpet panel off on the side of the glove box there, this piece. And it's gonna sound like I'm breaking it, but I'm not. And you kind of just get your hands behind it and pull it straight out. You can also pry it from this side to give yourself a little easier time. But I like to go from the back, and I kind of just get my hand behind it and pull straight out. And slowly kind of go along the edge there, getting your hands behind it. So this is more for people who are a little more technical with stuff, but it's pretty easy for most people. So just keep pulling. So you hear the sound. It's not breaking, but it's pulling straight out of these plastic pieces. And I like to get my whole hand behind here for this last part because it's really easy to break down here. So get my whole hand back there. Sometimes both. Just pop it off. Like that. Set that up here. Now the cabin air filter is going to be up in there. If you guys want to, I can move so you guys can see. But it's...
Put a flashlight.
Yeah. I'll show you. So it's right up in there.
Okay.
This plate here is covering the cabin air filter. You have one screw, and that's going to be a Torx T20 screw. And it's a special screw, but you can get them at most stores, Amazon, and it just looks like a star. And it's a T20, Torx T20. And you can use a power ratchet, or you can use a screw, a hand ratchet. But basically, got to be careful. Make sure you're not cross-threading that. Make sure it's seated, and make sure you're actually using a T20, not a T25, because you can strip it out. So you just get that off. Remove that screw, make sure it doesn't fall. And now you can see that, oh whoops, that was the wrong screw. So you remove that screw, and see, you can already see it coming off there. That plate is covering the cabin air filters under here. And you'll be able to feel the air coming through. And that's fine. So you're gonna pull it out. It has a little tab there, so you just pull it by the flag, and then there's another one in there too with the flag sticking out. You just pull up on that and then pull it straight back. And you kind of have to wiggle them out. Sometimes they're a little difficult, but they'll just wiggle right out, and then you put your new, and it's just revert. So just stick it in. You want to see the filter?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then it goes in this way, so the flags, you can pull it out.
So is it the same for say model 3 and model 1?
They look the same.
But location of the filter is the same?
Yeah, same location for 3Y. And S and X is a little different. It's up here under the glove box. But yeah, that's it. It just goes back how it was. Here, I'm gonna get down in there. So one drops in, the other goes over it, slides over. You might want to pull that flag down a little bit. Make sure it's all the way down.
Does Tesla use special wipers, or can we use wipers, generic wipers?
You can use generic wipers as long as they fit. Like, I think Bosch makes them.
Got it.
Yeah, I believe so. But so basically, once those two filters are back in, you would just reverse, and you want to hook the top of this. There's a little notch it hooks onto, and then you can make that screw shot. And that's it. And then you just put your pieces back on. So I'll do that real quick so you guys can see. Okay, yeah, so you get the piece back on. And then I like to hand start the screw a little bit. And if you're using a power ratchet, don't go too crazy. Let it stop and then let go. because you can easily strip that plastic. Yeah. So this is gonna go in second. This one first. Same order we took it out, and it's just popping it back into place now. So orientate it right. Got all those pins lined up. You see those pins? Just line them up with the holes. Pop back on. Just like that. Yeah, if you need to give it a little smack, you can. And then this, we make those two connections that we took off. So that speaker we took off, and that little light should come back on. Yep. And now this just mounts right back where you took it off. Just kind of slides into place, and then you'll have to kind of pop it in. So it slides all the way back, and then you got to pop in these sides. So up in here, pop it in, pop it in, and then replace those pins we took out. All four, and then that's it. So yeah, that's basically it.
Nice.
And then you reset your seat.
How much do you charge to get that done? So you can tell some confidence.
It's about $65.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little on the pricier side, I believe, from Mike's
That's why we're
perspective.
being taught.
But it's, I mean, it's a little difficult in most cars, you know. Like,
That includes parts?
yeah, it includes everything. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
Sorry, what includes everything?
It was 65, like including labor parts.
How much is
Including
the
the HIPAA bill?
Yeah.
How much is the
How
bill?
much?
On their own, I'm not sure. Yeah. I mean, probably about 20 bucks. So I wouldn't
Okay, that's good.
4 years, right? 4 years.
Two. So I would recommend maybe a year and a half, depending on how you drive. Because if you use your AC all the time, if you're driving like in the desert, up mountains, more polleny areas, it can get more, you know, dirty. So in my car, I do it every 6 months with my oil change, but it's different with them, you know, they don't have oil change intervals and anything. So it's kind of like as needed. If you're driving a lot, say 6 months. But if you're just, you know, driving to work and back, maybe a year and a half, 3,000 miles on it, you won't need it for like, you know.
I have it changed in 18,
Oh, never changed it?
but it smells. Will that fix a lot of the smell?
It could, yeah. It could fix a lot of the smell. Could be just moisture sitting in the, trapped in the filter, you know. Mildewy. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
One question regarding the wipers. One wiper was making noise when, and I was told it needs to be adjusted. It was adjusted. I brought it to service and it was adjusted. I don't know what adjustment was there. So
Oh, adjusted?
yeah. So if we had to do it ourselves, so what would that be?
So an adjustment probably is more than just the wiper blade being replaced. It's probably the wiper arm module itself. Sometimes the module is too tight up against it, so they can add like a spacer and get that a little bit, you know, further out. So it's something we probably do here.
So it would not be
Yeah, it's not really like a maintenance thing. It's more like a one-off type thing, you know. Yeah.
Is there anything else you're covering?
Like do on your own? Anything else? I mean, if you're good with like tools, you could do tires yourself.
Okay.
You could do rotations, not an alignment, but you could do rotations yourself. I mean, you could patch a tire yourself. You could, you know, fill your tires with air. You do
Yeah.
washer fluid.
Yeah, washer fluid. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the washer fluid?
It's actually under the hood.
Okay.
It's on the
You want to open that up.
Okay.
It's just right in there. It's the only
Okay.
port you have.
Okay.
in the
Okay.
car.
Okay.
So
do we get an indication that it's low?
yes. If it's severely low, it will indicate. It won't indicate until it's like really, really low.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's not like. So you normally do that when you come into service as a courtesy. We just recently stopped doing that, so it's a conquest now. So if you do notice that your skid flow, like when you press the button, then yeah, you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Under what conditions?
It'd be like kind of as needed as well. It's when they're streaking, when they start to kind of skip, or if you notice them flaking. It depends on how much you drive, how much you use them. If it's dry when you use them, sometimes they can wear out. You know, more than they should. But yeah, it's basically as needed. I would recommend probably most like once a year, but maybe every 6 months if you do a lot of train driving. Yeah. Again, yeah. So if that's all. It's only like you notice like the skid is bothering you. It's not wiping all the way. Then you would want it. That's not the end of the world. It's not like. I mean, the other day I was driving in the rain. I was coming back from Reno, and it was during the storm recently, so I could not see at one point. Like my wipers were just making it worse, and so I was like, I need new wipers. So that's when you come home.
I also noticed that in automotive wipers don't actually do pretty well. Like sometimes they don't keep up with the rain or they're not moving that fast. And sometimes when there's no rain, they.
Yeah.
So is there something that you can do on it?
I believe there's a setting. I'm not too well versed in the UI itself, but there is a setting for an automatic wiper mode.
Okay.
So if you turn that off, that probably will fix it.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed the automatic.
Yeah, the automatic.
Yeah. They don't.
There were at least a couple of articles. There are a couple of articles stating they're fixing it in the next software update.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of as needed. Like if you notice something wrong, you get an alert. You get something. Yeah, you're probably fine. Yeah. And every once in a while, you know, you can come in for tires. You know, just check on the tire. Yeah, you can check your tires for sure. Yeah. I have a question. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So I don't know if this has happened to everyone, but sometimes even when it's not raining and it's completely dry, my wipers start.
Yeah.
Is that a
Auto mode.
non-issue?
It's on the
Yeah,
auto
with
mode.
Basically,
Auto
you
mode.
put it on auto.
Yeah.
Is it a non-issue or is it just me?
Yeah, so like I think another person said they're working to fix that issue.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's
So
just
it's
an
not.
auto.
Okay, it's not just my car going crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's common. Like it'll sense moisture or something, and it'll just think, oh, it's raining. You know.
how easy is it to open up the B pillar?
The what?
What would you need to go in there for though? Like.
So there was that rattling issue in some of the older models, and
Okay.
my car has that, and it just drives
Oh,
me
okay.
nuts. And
the
I
Y?
got on the X,
Oh, okay.
and I've got it fixed a few times, insulated it, but then it like kind of comes off every year, and then I have to take in and I have to
What is
basically
it- what is-
discuss every now and then as to why it's happening, and they'll try to reproduce, and that wouldn't happen. I'm like, if I can just
Yeah.
open it, I can fix it myself.
Well, it's not too bad. I mean, on the X it's a little different because it's got the copy doors. You just gotta be careful. Like you can pull apart trim, you might break a clip, and not be able to get something back in. That's the only thing I would worry about doing something myself on the Tesla. But you know, bringing it in for service, it's covered under warranty.
Well, my warranty expired a few
Oh.
years ago.
Well, then yeah, if you're not worried about warranty or doing something on your own, getting a little technical, I've seen YouTube videos, people opening up the B pillar and fixing a similar issue on the Y. But like again, like you know, I'm a technician here. I wouldn't recommend doing repair on your own car.
What's a B pillar?
But the B pillar
That's
is the trim here on the inside. So it's like this plastic trim.
Yeah. It's what's happening to yours?
So in
It's
the
when you
Model
unravel.
3, in some of the older ones, where the seat belt thing, when you try to pull it, it kind of gets in this weird state where the car will make rattling noise.
Yeah.
And I read a lot of forums about that, and seems like a known issue, but nobody has acknowledged it at the service center.
Yeah.
It's a known issue. And I got that insulated one of the times, but then the insulation keeps coming off once a year, I would say. And then you have to kind of go and fight that, no, it's actually happening. It's not just me making things up, and here's the issue and all that. And it's like, at least earlier, you would get an appointment once in 2 weeks or so, and by the time you get the appointment, it's gone, and then it comes back, and then you don't have an appointment slot. So
Intermittent is the worst.
Yeah,
I just recently noticed, I thought 2018 Model 3, the accelerator pedal, I'm hearing it like there's some give. There's a little, it's like there's some movement. It's not smooth. You can hear like a little click. You can hear a little click and you kind of feel it too. Like is there something have you heard of something like that?
Me personally, no. I would bring it in.
Yeah.
I was take a look. Be like a general diagnosis, basically.
Yeah. Should I be concerned about it? It seems to accelerate just fine. It accelerate, but I can hear